pounding away on this Headstock Repair. Before I could go live today, I've done a little bit of a preemptive strike on the crack here, and I've gotten all this smoothed out. And I think that the impact happened right in here. There's a dent in the neck. It's definitely an indentation right in this where it's kind of flattened out. So I'm trying to sand this down, and what I like to do is run my fingernail over it to see if I can feel the crack in this. And I can definitely, you'll notice like right here there's a little bit of lacquer left, but and then I'm down to wood on this side, so there's definitely a little lip right there that I could I'm likely gonna sand on it a bit more after I get the whole thing done, but I've just kind of done a preemptive strike to see how bad it is really. Now what I have going on now is a large flat spot in this, due to the fact that I used my hammer to drive the chunk back into the slot that it belongs in, and I seem to have maybe set my razor blade down someplace. I literally just had it. I need to get some stuff cleaned up here. Oh, it must have fallen on the floor here. Oh, where are you? There you are, right in front of my face. So right here, where I was hitting on this with the hammer, I've definitely marred up the joint where the end grain will come together. So I'm going to end up with a small bit of let's see, maybe some separation. However, I believe that it's far enough back that if I cut a little bit of this off of here, I'll be able to get it to match up pretty nicely. And I'm being very careful with my razor blade here to not take too much, but take enough that I won't have a problem getting this joint to seal up. And that just about did it right there, I think. And then we'll dry fit the headstock back on this instrument and see how well we can do. Some of this end grain right here is definitely going to get smashed. There ain't a whole lot I can do about that to get these to line up. Now here's the headstock before I've cleaned it. So I'm going to use some denatured alcohol and just get all of the dust and such off of here and foreign material, just so none of it gets into the headstock joint. We want to have that as clean as possible. And then I'm going to do one other thing here also, and you might find this kind of interesting, but I have some stuff called good old-fashioned lighter fluid. Right, the stuff you fill up your cigarette lighters with if you smoke them. And what I'm going to do is use this to rinse this wood grain a little bit. So let's get going here with this. I'm going to move my camera over to here so I can catch most of the extra Roncinol. This is just straight up Roncinol lighter fluid. And again, I'm just rinsing this off. And Roncinol evaporates into nothing. So there's no residue or anything left on here after doing this. Also, it helps the light to hit pieces that are chipped away that I need to remove out of here so that we get as clean of a joint as we can. And there's a little piece right there, and this little piece right here. It helps to illuminate that. And that stuff is very loose, and unfortunately we're going to lose a little bit of this. But this will help me make as perfect of a joint as could possibly be hoped for on this headstock. There we go. I don't like losing little chunks of wood, but sometimes it's a necessary evil to make the joint as tight as it can be. What we want to try and do is get all of this flat grained and be making contact. And again, we'll strengthen it by using some dowels in here to strengthen this joint a little bit. I can see that this is kind of bent a little. Looks like it may have taken a hit there. And we want to get this to match up as tight as possible. So hey Zach, thanks for being with me today. Appreciate it. Good to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful, what is it? Today's Wednesday, right? Yep. Might be smart to just light a match right now and let it go. And we'll give this definitely several minutes to dry out. I'm just kind of dabbing up any of the excess that I can. And I'm really looking closely at a lot of different angles right now to make sure that I don't see any little chips of wood sticking out that don't belong in certain places, or loose chips that are laying over or cross grain. And I can see one piece down in there that I need to get. I know you can't see what I'm doing here, but well, there it is. You can see there's a piece back in here. I need a pointy. I need a pointy blade. I have to change the blade real quick. Where are you? There's my pointy blades. I buy my pointy blades like this on these little XL units. They're pretty cool. And whew. Sometimes these blades, they get a little temperamental when you try and change them out after they've been in there for a while. This is one of my most highly used tools of everything that I use is my razor blade. And there we go. Got it. Almost got it. There we go. So that little piece right in there, I don't know how well you can see it, but that was loose in there, and that potentially could have kept me from making a good solid tight joint right there. This looks a little suspicious. Just the wood color is different. Okay. Okay, that's good. I'm doing my best to just not touch any of it. So now, ultimately, I've got to wait for the roncinol to evaporate fully. And kind of give you an idea, if you look at this end where I've doused it with roncinol, it's totally dry now. Roncinol is a great cleaning agent. Typically, it will, now I don't quote me on this, but it typically won't damage the finish on an instrument. It typically will clean and then evaporate into nothing. So I can definitely still feel a little bit here. It's very, very subtle. Boy, in fact, I might even, what I'm feeling is the open grain here versus the lacquered finish where I've sanded this down. I use 220 grit, so as you can see, the wood color is starting to lighten up. This one is basically totally dry. So we're looking really good on this end. I like it. And our truss rod's sitting there still very nicely. I think it's time for a sip of coffee. Yeah, let's see who's popping in here today. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. I appreciate seeing y'all. I had a fun live stream last night, just working on new songs that I'm looking. Snooks, hello. What's happening, Mike?
Hey, heck if I know.
No. Yeah, okay.
Oh my God, I hadn't really ever looked at that.
Yeah, it's pretty. All that end grain on it makes it tough, but I'm about ready to glue it. I just hit it with some Roncinol and let that stuff evaporate, and then I can get glue on it and see how well we can match it up.
Well,
that is
you'll do if it can be done, you can do it.
I'm the guy, I think. Well, there's a guy
I already overpromised.
Well, we got
of course we can do it. We. You notice how?
Right. Well, Stu could do this also.
Well, yeah, but it still doesn't. I don't know how I figure into the equation other than over-promising.
Right.
You're welcome.
You promise anything, I'll make sure it comes to fruition. We'll make it happen. Yep. That guy. It's such a great feeling to work someplace like this and have the owner of the shop have such deep trust and gratitude. And the way we work here is that if anybody needs anything, we take care of it for them if they need it. Mike never asks for help, nor does Stu, and nor do I. But I had a really terrible tragedy happen when my home burned down, and those guys had my back. It's the best insurance that money can't buy, is having a good, honest vocabulary when you interact with your coworkers. And we're not a corporation, we're a small business. Been in business for 50 years, and it just, I've been here for going on 17 years, I think now. So, coffee matters, indeed it does. Snook said hello. Doing good today. Right now outside of my front porch. How nice. Little dog Riley. Hi, Riley. I got a dog treat. I don't have a dog treat. Let's see, Marshall. You need to take a brush to your wild hair. It won't hurt. Oh, yeah. My hair quit growing. This is all I got left. And it doesn't get any longer. And forgive me, but I didn't get real dirty yesterday, and I was up very late. I didn't take a shower today even. When you're single, you can do that sort of stuff because nobody complains about whether you smell or not. And I don't sweat a lot anyway, so yeah, it's all I got. It's getting thin up here. That's probably a big reason why I wear a baseball cap, which I know doesn't help, but. And I got a new hat this weekend from one of our favorite places to play, the T-Post. Check these guys out. They're in Walla Walla, Washington. Check out their Facebook. I know they're very active on Facebook, and just a great club, really fun. And their support of live music is unbelievable. They still are doing it, and they do it every weekend, and they're just fantastic people. And Aaron is an absolute sweetheart. Such a cool person, so kind and helpful. And Rob, their sound engineer, is just amazing. So check out the T-Post, Walla Walla, Washington. Oh, and I couldn't get a brush through my hair if I wanted to. It would just rip it all out. I use a pick to comb my hair. That's what I do. It's much healthier. And never use shampoo. It's one of the worst products and most highly lied about products in the world. It is utterly useless to use shampoo. You could use just whatever kind of soap you use to wash your skin, which is kind of a waste of money also, but nonetheless, all you're doing is washing your scalp. You're not washing your hair. Hair, really, unless it's got oil or some, you know, nasty shit in it, there's no need to use shampoo, and I live by that. I had really great hair until I hit about 50-ish or so, and then it just started getting thin. And anyway, there you go. Now, let's get back to the repair. I know that there's still a little bit of settling that needs to happen here with the a little bit of evaporation that needs to happen with the what's that stuff called? Lighter fluid. But I can see that I'm going to get a really nice matchup. There's going to be a little gap right here. But I believe, let's see how this side is lining up. Yeah, I'm going to have to, so all I'm going to do is tap this in. Now, I mean, that is my only hope. If you've ever glued wood together with end grain like this, yeah, probably be good to just cut it off and make it a nice flat surface. I'm not going to do that on this one. They are more concerned about having this guitar in one piece versus having it be perfect and playable, which I will make it perfectly playable, but it's going to take a little bit of doing. And I can see that there's still a little bit of Roncinol lighter fluid that's moist in here still, keeping it moist. So I'm going to wait for that to dry out. Again, I'm finding little pieces of fiber that have kind of come loose or gotten bent a little bit, and I don't want that in my joint to stop it from being able to get all the way. And every millimeter counts. Every 1/10 of a millimeter counts. You want this, get this as tight as possible. And you'll notice that on this crack, there's still a subtle little gap. It matched up perfectly right here, and it was damn close. So that's about as good as you could hope for when you're gluing end grain like this. And I had good, excellent squeeze out with the glue, so I got good penetration on that one. Now also, I was a dumbass and left my my glue cap open last night. Ugh. So I'm going to clean this out real quick before I get much further. Let me see, where's my flathead? Phillips. So, as some of you may know, I am very busy doing gigs this summer. And so I'm making really excellent money doing gigs. I'm making more money this summer just playing guitar at gigs than I can make here at the shop working for a full year. And that's just it's plain simple fact. I'm not paid a really super high wage or anything. You might think that I get paid a lot to do this kind of work and all that, but that is not true in any way, shape, or form. Again, we're a small business, so we all lead our lifestyles to accommodate being able to continue this business, and sometimes we go without just to keep the doors open, right? Some of us do, anyhow. And so I'm going to be buying a new toolbox for here at the shop. I'm buying myself a new toolbox so that, number one, so I can lock it, and number two, so it's bigger so that I have a little better organization of my tools. I haven't done that in a long time. I haven't bought a new toolbox for quite a long time. And I'm way overdue for that. And I will keep my old one because it's got some really great stickers and such on it. But that's my plan for this summer. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah. With respect to gigs, I get asked about that a lot. Interesting in private messages that folks send me, and I do try and answer all of them, and I do try and respond to every comment that comes in on my channel. So feel free to leave a comment on these. Even after the video is done, it really helps the algorithm and get my content out to other people that might really need it. You know, how many people have busted a headstock on their guitar? And I believe it usually happens when a boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife gets angry. Many times. Thus, I'm single. So, anyhow, leave a comment in this, and I'll do my best to respond to those. Let's see. Lars, hello, man. T-Post, there you go. Thank you, Snooks. Use a wide pick on my hair. Yeah, me too. Yep. Yeah. Lars, it's sure nice to see you, man. And I believe, I think it's okay to call you Larry, right? I think it's okay. I don't like to give anybody's personal information out if they don't approve of it, but I think I've seen other people call you by your first name. And also, I'm not going to divulge too much information, but a very good friend of mine is currently on the same continent as me, and it's likely that you may see us together for the first time in our lives in not too distant future. So I hope that that happens, and I know that where he is right now is really a beautiful place. Well, it used to be a beautiful place, and I hope that he's going out and taking it all in as best he can. Now, also, this plastic bag, if you're working on your own instrument, this is a wonderful way to keep all of your parts and pieces in one place. I failed to put the end pins and the nut into this bag yesterday, and now I have done that, and all of the machine heads and nuts and screws and stuff that came off of those. So if you're doing that, a plastic freezer bag or whatever is a great way to do it, or a Tupperware bowl, something with the lid on it or something you can close, because you will almost certainly knock it off your table while you're working on it and the shit will fly everywhere. That's what happens to me. So it's a great, that's how I've done it, is use plastic bags and with a zipper. I'm just checking the messages real quick. Yeah, man. Okay, thank you, Lars. Oh yeah, isn't it? Mike Herrera and my knees hurt. Hello, Larry, welcome, you guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. I'm still waiting on, there's a little bit, I can see that there's still a little bit of moisture in here from that lighter fluid, and so I want to make sure that all dissipates, evaporates is what I should say. And let's see, had a great time with my students yesterday. A couple of them were very emotional about Ozzy, and you know, I have a young lady taking lessons from me, and we'll just call her T. She has been working on the song, we have been working on together, the song Crazy Train, I mean, literally over the past 4 lessons together. She just studies with me for half an hour once a week, and boy, she was definitely disappointed about our loss of Ozzy yesterday, and you know, again, I send my condolences and my deepest sympathy to his friends and family, and you know, I can only I know how they all feel I've lost people that were very close to me, and I think most of us have. And I think, you know, Ozzy being the amazing person that he is. And of course, I never met him. I have met his guitarist Zakk Wylde at a concert. It wasn't like we're best friends or anything, but I think Ozzy would tell all of them, go ahead and cry, go ahead and be sad, but keep doing what you do. Don't let my death stop you from doing what you love. Don't stop. Keep going. That's what I say when my time is done here. Although I certainly haven't had the impact on the world that Mr. Osborne has. But keep going. I'm so proud of him for doing things the way he did it. And I believe that Ozzy chose his time to leave. He realized that the first love of his life, beyond his wife and beyond his children, and I believe far beyond those, was his love for music and singing and writing lyrics. And I believe that it was as if he realized that that part of his life was over, and he just he quit. I think people do that when they've been married for 70 years and their partner for all of that time leaves our world. And you've seen it time and time again where, you know, husband and wife been married their whole lives, and the husband leaves, and 2 days later the wife leaves. And I really believe that Ozzy chose to leave us. Everything he had ever loved and lived for was no longer able to be involved with anymore. And that's what I believe. I'm just taking this opportunity to scrape a little bit of glue out of this thing. Alright, that is starting to look really good now. Now I am going to put a little bit of water onto the end grain of both of these pieces. Yes, it will make it swell up a little bit, but it will also help the capillary action of the glue get into these areas. I'm taking a brush. In fact, I'm going to use a bigger brush here. And this water is slightly diluted with glue. So there is some glue in this water, and it's just a tiny little bit, but this will help that glue that I'm applying get into these areas. Just a little bit of water. Water never hurt tight bond glue. In fact, it's a great way to get glue into places where you just really can't get it into, with the crack being too small. All right, just dabbing it with a clean towel. All right, just a tiny bit of moisture. Oops, and I can see I've got that one brush that I'm using lost some of its. which is why I love this little white one. This thing doesn't lose bristles on this. And we're going to glue this and clamp it up. I've got some clamps laying around here. Okay. It's important to get glue into every last tiny little bit of this joint. I'm doing my best to try and keep some glue out of the truss rod area. Okay, so we got way too much glue, and you know, as Derek Beyerdynamic would say, perfect. Way too much. Perfect. I'm being very gentle with my brush strokes here because I don't want to fold up any of the wood. I don't want any of it bending or crinkling over and stopping the joint from being as tight as possible. Now this is going to be interesting because if you've glued wood together, obviously you know how hard it is to get end grain to line up. And in reality, it is impossible. Now, if this were, let's just say it was a Martin or maybe a light old, 50s era Gibson, we might be doing this repair a bit differently than I'm doing it. I'm guessing that this instrument probably, and I don't care about the price much, but this was probably, a $300 guitar. I don't know. I think somebody looked it up yesterday and found that they were roughly in the neighborhood of $300 to purchase one. Pushing it by hand. Wow, look at that. Now I'm going to get my rag a little bit wet. Yep, you just saw it happen. Oh, dang it. There's going to be a gap in there. Okay, so we've got a bit of a gap still. Oop. Definitely. All right, so let's tap on a... Go. Okay, now. Had a little chip of the finish pop out right there, but this is looking really good. It went together nicely. You can see all the glue squeeze out. Now I'm going to go back up here on the top, clean up as much of this as I can. I'm being very careful and gentle with this because I don't want to push it apart again. Man, I can't believe how well that went together. But all of that, what I can say is a lot of that is the preparation that I did by getting all those little chips of wood out of the loose pieces, the chips and such. Okay. That is looking really nice. Okay. I'm going to tap it a few more times. It's kind of, man, you can barely feel that little crack. Look at this. This whole piece was missing, and this is looking really nice. Each time I tap that, a little bit more glue squeezes out, which tells me I made another 1/4 of a 1/1000th of an inch, whatever. I'm getting it a little bit tighter got a little bit sticking out right there, and as you can see when I squeeze this together, the glue squeezes out under the headstock, or the fingerboard, sorry, look at that. One thing about Titebond is you have quite a bit of time to mess with it to get it nice, and as it tacks up, it'll hold it in place. You tap it again, a little bit more glue squeezes out, and you can really get a nice tight joint. This is, boy, this is as good as I could have hoped for on this instrument. Incredible. I'm blown away. This is great. A slight little bit more. Okay. Okay. Look at that. Pretty cool. We got to make them worse before we make them better, right? Okay. Well, let's put a clamp on this. Okay, so I'm going to move this guitar ever so slightly. I'm going to move this a little bit. We'll get you here. A little bit more squeezing out right there.
Okay. Where's Stu? Is he in the bathroom?
I haven't seen him for a
Okay,
bit.
let me grab.
What's happening?
Is Stu out back? Hang on. He's in a beat. Oh, he's in a beat. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna move this.
I don't know. I'll grab Stu.
Hey Mike, is there something I can help with on that? Well, let's see what happens here. I'll show you over on this side. When I got that clamp on there, all of this glue squeezed out on this side. And I can barely feel that crack. I mean, with my finger, probably with my fingernail I could feel it a little bit, but we've got a little divot right here, and we'll fill that with some CA glue and make that smoothed out. But I can't hope to have a better joint. Now, I've gotten those clamps on there, so I'm going to change one of these clamps here in just a moment. I wanted to get that pushed down nicely. We're going to let it sit there for a moment. Mike Herrera, yeah. Ah. Okay. No. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm proud of this one. This will be nice. I mean, this poor young lady, this guitar got broke. I have no idea how it happened, nor did I ask. That doesn't really matter much. But the idea is to fix it and fix it properly. So, y'all remember this tool, I'm sure. We are going to use this in place of this clamp. I'm just going to leave that clamp for just a moment longer. This clamp kind of helps put pressure evenly across it. It's not as tight as one of these, but the evenness of the pressure is really nice on this one. I'm just going to leave it for about 60 more seconds. This is my process. I'm not saying that I do it the best way known to man, but I do believe that this neck is going to be very stable, and the guitar will certainly be able to be played. And you know, we'll talk with them about doing any kind of finish repair on this. At this point, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have to at least hit it with some lacquer, just to kind of even this out. I don't want to leave bare wood right next to lacquer. That's kind of a not a good thing to do. And this is a satin finish on the neck. It seems definitely satin, and I have some satin lacquer here. So I'm going to pull this clamp and place this one. Let me get you over here so you can maybe see a little better. I know my camera guy, he likes his booze. He drinks a lot. Oh, there you go. Okay. Alright, so now on the underside of this, I'm going to use my favorite repair tool and the most expensive repair tool in the world of guitar repair, the very famous popsicle stick. Now I'm scraping the edges off of this, and I will hit it with a little bit of sandpaper to make sure that I don't dent or leave a mark on the fingerboard where this thing will make contact. Here's some 220 grit sandpaper. I'm not in any big hurry. We're doing just fine on time. Okay, so we push this through. Get that like that. And then we'll push this through underneath it. Get it all the way through. Come on, baby. Should have put that one in first, but that's all right. And then we will tighten this up. And I am going to use a wrench on this one this time. I'm going to use a pair of channel locks to tighten this down. And if I told you how much money I made with channel locks as a plumber, you'd shoot me. That's why it's so expensive to call a plumber. One of my all-time most favorite tools. And again, if you knew how much money I made with a pair of these, it'd be shocking. Let's see. Oop. It's just too close to this clamp to get my hand on this to really tighten it up. And I'm looking at, yeah, that looks good. I'm going to give it a couple more little eeks here. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's tight. That will call that a day. Okay, so she's glued up. I got a really good joint on that with all that brusted end grain and stuff. It's just, this is difficult to get to line up. And I took a lot of time to prepare for this. I never truly dry fit it all the way together. I just pushed it together enough to kind of see how things were working, and then I have to kind of, oh God, I hate using this word, but mojo. I had to kind of let the mojo settle in. And I know that we've got a really good tight joint now. And this piece actually went in better than the other one did, in my humble opinion. It seemed like it matched up really well. Virtually zero gap on that. If there's a gap, it's probably less than 1/1000th of an inch. That is pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that one. Let's see. Probably whacked her husband. Oh, Steve, hey man, welcome. Yeah, this was a fun one, brother. It's good to see you again. I hope you're doing good. Y'all check out Steve. He's up in Seattle fixing electronic stuff. And his uncle, Tim, is one hell of a guitar player, songwriter. And I haven't talked to Tim for quite some time. Tim Roberts, check him out. I don't know what he's up to these days, but please offer him my best wishes, man. I haven't sent him an email for a while. Let's see. So this instrument, I mean, is basically all I can do is wait for the glue to dry, and I'm not going to mess with it anymore today. I leave work at 2 p.m. and it is now, let me check the time. It's about 20 after 12, so I have another instrument I'm going to go ahead and get out, and we're going to start working on that that one during this live stream today. So if you were interested, hang out. Be sure to hit the thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. My channel is steadily still just on this steady growth. It's a small channel, and it'll never be big, but it's a lot of fun for me to do this, and because of you. Mike, yes, sir, he is. Well, very close to Seattle. I believe more like Tacoma. Oh, I just remembered something. Stu brought that instrument in. I've got a guitar that we are going to try and sell, but it's broken. The headstock's broken. Not this bad, but it's broke. So I'm going to fix it. So let's get to that right now. Let me put you over here. Steve, it's great to see you again. Yeah, Mike, if you have some work you need done. Steve, I think, primarily builds guitars. I've seen a couple of them that he's built for his Uncle Tim, and they're beautiful, and others. But the guy is really talented builder. Very unique designs and shapes. Really beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. I think, oh, where was Kurt Cobain from? What's that little town? I say little town. It's all Seattle, right? It's just like Portland and Gresham and Beaverton are all the same city now. It's tragic. But nonetheless, let's get on with this. Okay, I'm going to go grab another guitar. Set this one aside. I'll be right back. Now, I have no. Sorry about that. Isn't that an awesome shot of the wall behind me? Now, I have no idea who broke this guitar, how it got broke, or otherwise. I'm certain that it got knocked over and nobody said anything about it. I'm going to take a photograph of this and email it to everybody that I work with to keep them informed about this instrument being broken like this. Let's see. Okay. Hang on, I got a response. Sounds great. Okay. And Alan, great to see you. Stay-at-home dad. I love it, man. Good for you. Okay. All right. So I got to take a photograph of this. And actually, I'm going to grab the owner of the shop and have him come take a look at this also, just so he's aware that this has happened. Hey, Mike, can I bug you for a second? I got to show you something. I don't know how this happened or what happened, but this is a stock guitar.
Oh, shit.
So somebody definitely.
It got knocked over.
It did. It got knocked over. I'm just going to glue it back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably some kid.
Yeah. You know? That's why they're all out there to play. It happens.
We don't have a guitar museum.
If it's, yeah. If this is the last time it happens, I'm going to be very disappointed. Okay. All right, so let's get up here and start so you can see what's happening with this instrument. And it definitely took a hit. So we've got to pull some screws. Now, we will sell this instrument because we got this out of the way. That's why I say if you have a guitar, just go ahead and break the headstock and get that part out of the way because it's going to happen. No, I joke. Don't do that, but we'll sell this as a markdown on it. But the thing is, one of my guitar students last night, she's very interested in getting a new acoustic guitar because she's just not really happy with the one. She primarily plays electric guitar. And I picked this one up to take it in to let her use it. Hang on, before I do this, I need to loosen the string tension, right? I'm way ahead of myself. Let's get the strings off of this. I'm just going to loosen them a little bit so I can cut them off, and we'll get them off here as quickly as possible. Hopefully my camera guy's keeping up with me. It never ends. And I live in a very small town, and I'm doing this kind of work constantly. And that string was wound backwards, so my guess is that somebody that maybe works here has messed with this guitar. I don't know. Maybe one of our apprentices. But I've gotten the photos, and they will all be aware that this happened, and you know, I don't know. My forensic science is pretty exhausted at that point. It does look like I put strings on this at some point in time, so it definitely worked. This looks like my string change. I don't know. I hope nobody traded this in and we didn't see that. I don't know. I just don't know. But these are the things that we have to deal with. And you know, they do it at other major corporations and such with products getting damaged. You got to deal with it. Aberdeen, there you go. Yeah. That might be, Aberdeen might be where Steve's at. It doesn't seem like he's here. He might be a Space Cat. Hello, welcome to the channel. I think I remember seeing you here at least once or twice, and welcome back. It's great to see you. Thanks for tuning in today. If you learn something or like what you're seeing or hearing or whatever, please just hit the like button. It doesn't cost anything, and it helps me be able to create more content like this, and it makes it all worthwhile. It helps make it all worthwhile, but you're why I do this. Because I know that there are lots of people that live in places like where I live, that somebody like me isn't around, and you break an instrument, and my hope is that one of my videos might help someone repair a guitar that either they can't afford to buy a new one, or they just want to change something about it. That's my whole point of my channel. I'm not doing this for money. I'm not a woman. I don't have those aspects to have 10 million subscribers, anything like that. Y'all know what I mean. They own YouTube. So if I yeah, anyway, that's that. Let's see. So that's all looking pretty good. Okay, so we've got the strings off it. Have the machine heads or the end pins. I'm placing all of this hardware right now in a little magnetic bowl, and unfortunately I'm going to have to take this tagger off of here. Still got the tagger on it. We'll keep this, set this aside. Still got the tagger on it. Boy, that finish took a nasty hit. Doggone it. Finish repairs, and I always say this, but like you buy an $8,000 guitar and $7,999 of it is the finish. Tell me I'm wrong. If you've done finish work on a guitar, you know how complex that is and how long it takes, and it's a process. So here we go. Bummer this thing took a hit though. This guitar retails, it's right around $600. They're very nice guitars. This is a Grande Auditorium. It is my favorite shape of guitar. My Taylor 414 CE is a Grande Auditorium, and I love that thing. And I'm making sure to do this with these machine heads, just to keep all the parts together in one nice tidy piece. There we go. Hey, I hope everybody's having a really fun Wednesday. Mine's been just pretty normal. And I'm going to go back home today. When I get off at 2 o'clock, I have a little bit of running around to do to take care of some local business that I need to finish up, tidy up, I should say. But if you saw me last night at all, I was working on that cover band material, and I will play through that entire set list, including Sweet Home Alabama and the guitar solo for Freebird twice today. And I will probably play through the guitar solo for Freebird many times today, because I really need to learn that one and that smell and all that stuff. Those songs, I really have to nail those trademark riffs in those. And of course, you know, those solos, when they were recorded, were not mostly, they were 100% improvised. So I don't find it respectful to try and duplicate somebody's improvisation necessarily. You know, and listen to a song like Voodoo Child from Jimi Hendrix. Jeez, that's hard to listen to. But it was a groundbreaking sound and a groundbreaking technique at the time. And he didn't miss a note. He just kind of went places whenever he wanted to, and it was really cool. So let's see how well this matched up. Now, I'm just going to do a little bit of a rehearsal here to see if I can get this to push back together again. And I cannot. There is cross grain breakage going on inside this crack. You couldn't hope to crack a guitar much better than this one, but the grain of the wood has definitely changed shape. Let me grab a light. Or there's little pieces of grain that are preventing the crack from actually matching up perfectly. Well, it's just this outer edge on this side, and this side matches up. I think I spoke too soon. So I am going to use some stronger clamps on this, and we're going to go ahead and glue this one up. So it's the day of gluing headstocks, and this is going to be an interesting one. Definitely have some finish damage here that we'll have to maybe touch up. So one thing about this one is that I'm not going to break it all the way off. I'd ruin the laminate on the top. So I'm going to put a little bit of water into this crack, and in order to do that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tip the guitar up. I'm going to tip the back end of the guitar, because I got to let gravity kind of help me. I'm going to lift this up. Now, you want to know how I do that? Okay, I'll show you. Boxes of speakers that we have here at the shop, they work really great for shims. All right, so just going to lift this up. All right. Now I just want to lift this up high enough so that the headstock is tilted downhill, and we can get gravity working for us when I put glue and such into the guitar. It will work with gravity. Let's see. Grab a couple of these. There we go. Pick this up. That is much better. And as you can see now, this headstock is actually slightly tilted downhill. And I'm going to move that. I will use these clamps to clamp this, because I've got a lot more horsepower with this. And I use leather blocks to keep from damaging the finish on the guitar or denting the wood necessarily. And we'll see. I'm going to really spread that open. Okay, so I'm not going to mess with this finish here. Some of it will definitely crack away. Again, I'm just putting a little bit of water in here to help the glue wick into the crack. Okay, just a little bit. All right, okay. Now, there's always a process that you can use air to shoot the glue, to get the glue to squeeze down in there a little better. I'm not going to go ahead and use that on this one. This crack is so wide that with a little bit of squeezing like this, you can see that it'll help that glue wick right down into this crack. I'll definitely push it in with a brush, and we'll do that right now. Here we go. Also, I'm keeping an eye open here for any bristles that might come off my my brush here. Need more glue. Come on. And I'm also using the tip of the glue bottle as kind of a syringe, ultimately, to help push that glue into there. And now what I can see is that the glue has run all the way down into this crack on this side of the instrument. So I know I'm getting excellent penetration on that. So we'll...
Hey Marshall, do you know
yes.
Do you know that new? Did Mike take that Les Paul home?
That I cannot tell you.
I'll ask Mike.
Yeah.
If he did, I might have to play yours.
You might. Oh. Okay.
I just want to try that amp out there.
Oh, dude, grab it.
Les Paul at? You're not taking it. Where is it? That wasn't the question. You're not taking it. It's back there. Oh, is it? I didn't expect it. What's the story behind it?
I'll put Conway, the Conway address on there.
Okay.
So we know that's what it is.
Yeah, I could see what it was.
Yeah, Chris, I had Chris look. Mike did it. I was going to do it today.
And we'll add a bit more glue. I know I've gotten really great penetration with this glue. The water helps a lot. And this capillary, by squeezing it, lifting and closing it again, helps to get that glue to get down in those cracks. And that's something that a lot of folks I know are afraid to do because they're worried they're going to make it worse. Well, if you broke the whole thing off, you could probably get better glue penetration. So don't worry too much about doing that. And that's why I always say we got to make them worse before we make them better. Always. Because it is true. You got to make them worse before you make them better. Look at that. I'm just going to push it back in there and do it again. Each time I do this, a little more glue is getting down deeper into this crack. And as you can see, I'm not being real careful about it. There's no need to be gentle in these cases. The gentler you are, the less quality of a repair that you can get on something like this. You've got to be serious. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Yeah, see, I sang that song and he played it on a guitar. Okay. I'm not worried about getting glue in these holes or anything like that. I do want to be sure to get all the glue wiped down, the excess glue, just because it makes the cleanup and the finish of this work a whole lot easier. And it's interesting, the more I'm pushing on this, I'm able to really see that I'm getting a really good solid contact here. with this. You can see how much glue I'm able to squeeze out of there each time I reef down on this. Okay. I'm really liking where I'm at right now with this, so let's clamp her up. I'm going to go from a couple of different directions here with this clamp, just because, come on, I've got to get a clamp here, and then I'll use a larger clamp on the opposite side. Now watch what happens here as I put some pressure on this. Look at how much more glue squeezed out of there. Now this edge has been folded back a little bit. There ain't nothing I can do about that. Let me see, what can I do here? Maybe, let me try, oops. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my shims at this end. They've done their job. Come here. All right. What I'm gonna do is scoot this over to here. Yeah, now I can see. Now I'll be able to get these clamps on in a good location. I want to spin this. Now, yes, some glue will get on the leather, and yes, it will stick to the guitar, but I'm gonna have to sand that off of there anyway. Now I'm gonna loosen this a little bit, flip this over. What do you think, Mike?
I think it's going to be great.
Nobody will, they just aren't gonna know.
Yeah, I'm sure it just either got hit by another guitar.
Yeah, it definitely hit the ground, probably face down. That's my guess. Yes, it's, there's a good old Les Paul damage. And I'm sorry that my camera wasn't pointed correctly, but you can see the excess squeeze out that I'm getting on the glue joint. So I'm really happy with that. I know that I've gotten a good solid, and man, you can't even feel the crack now. This is a very good glue joint, and I'm going to give this a little more horsepower, but I'm going to be careful not to do too much. Now I'm going to use, let me check real quick. On this side, I'm going to go ahead and use one of my larger clamps. Today is a broken headstock fix day. We'll clamp this up right here. Push this in as far as I can, and boom! I can see already. You can see the squeeze out that I got after putting that clamp on there, and more is squeezing out on the opposite side as I squeeze this one. So, and I'm using a wet rag to remove the glue. I'm going to pull this clamp, get some excess glue off of there. Come on. And we'll do this again. Here we go. All right. And I am not messing around when I'm putting these clamps on. They are tight. Okay. Right. There you go. So if you've broken a headstock on your guitar, maybe this will help you repair it. If you don't have anybody you can trust, or you don't want to wait 9 months for your guitar to get done, for a break like this, that you can see takes me, how long have I been working on this? 15 minutes? 20, now let's be honest, a half an hour. Right? Now I will have to clean up this crack a little bit because that crack kind of folded up. In fact, here's what I'm gonna do with that. I'm gonna try to just see if I can get this clamp. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna use another piece of leather right here on that side, and then we'll use another piece of leather on the bottom side.
You did it 2 seconds ago, and it's starting to think from your mind, where the hell is it? You did it carried over on the other side when you were talking to Chris.
Were we over there?
I don't know if we went that far or not. I was too busy doing what I was doing.
Did Chris find that Les Paul he was looking for?
Yeah, it was just back where they all are.
You look like my dad. That's what my daughter said to my wife once, or no, to her friend.
Oh, you look like...
She's like, I don't look anything like your dad. She's like, no, you look like my dad.
You search for things like my dad.
Alright, so the point in doing this, I don't know how necessary that was to try and push that rough edge of that crack down a little bit tighter. And I'm using a brace clamp. Ultimately, I use this clamp on guitars where I have to re-glue a bridge. These are great clamps. I got these, I believe, I don't know if I got these from Amazon or Stu Mac. You usually get a set of 3 of them, which is really stupid. They should do 4. Yeah, just because even numbers are just even, right? Okay. So we're going to let this one dry. Now, I don't have a way to hang this thing up with all these clamps on it the way they are positioned. So I'm going to grab a terrible guitar stand and we'll do that. Guitar shop busted guitar. It happens, folks. It just happens. Oh boy, that looks good. Now, also, I want to warn you all about these. That type of stand right there, please don't. Just please don't ever put a guitar in one of those. That is the reason more Les Pauls have been broken than any other reason ever. Those stands are absolute garbage. A guitar can tip and fall out of those so easily, so be careful. Okay, now I think I've done everything I can do. My band has a gig in Walla Walla, Washington this Friday. We're playing at a place called Marcy's Bar and Lounge, I believe. Let me say hello, Johnny. Hey, dude. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hey, I'll say hi to Johnny. Let's see. Kirk William was from there. Town is a sign that says, "Come as you are." Ah, okay. I wonder if they put that up after him or if he took that line from that. That's a great comment. I have been there. That's also where Jimi Hendrix is buried, right? I believe. Rest his soul. The Club of 23, right? Yeah. All right, so let's see. So yes, my band, Some People. You can look us up on Facebook. We have a Facebook identity. We don't do more than that. Any more than that is ultimately a waste of time, especially for a small regional band like ours. We're not going to go to New York or compete in Nashville or anything like that. Although it's not a competition, but that's what Nashville has become. you know, no guitar players are in competition with other guitar players unless you're in the area of level of Zakk Wylde, and even then not. Jeff Beck, maybe you're competing because of ego or whatever. So, but we're playing in Walla Walla Friday night, and then Saturday we're playing in one of the most beautiful places in the world, a place called Wallowa Lake in Oregon, Northeast Oregon, and it is truly one of the most beautiful places on our planet. I have not traveled much, but there's a reason for that, is what I always say. Come out and see us if you're in Northeast Oregon or Northeast, or what would it be, Southeast Washington, Southern Washington State. The weather here is really shitty right now, so don't come visit. And the people are really mean. Everybody's rude. The drivers are terrible. We have terrible drivers, and the traffic is absolutely god awful. So don't come over here. There's no reason to. You'd hate it. It's worse than New York, right? Okay, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Johnny, it was great to see you. Thanks for popping in today. Mike, great to see you. Larry, you too. Zach, and Snooks, great to see you. Super Cat, wonderful. Or Space Cat, sorry, Space Cat. Thanks for tuning in today, you guys. We'll see you on the next one.